Provident puts people on track for a successful, hopeful future. Sometimes we reach them young, keeping kids safe and helping them achieve in after-school programs. Sometimes we reach them later, giving young adults skills to help themselves through job training and coaching. And sometimes we reach people who have slipped off the track. Jermayne started living on the streets when he was 9 years old.
When I was growing up, it was very chaotic, a lot of violence, little to no structure. And you kind of learn to survive by the means that you can from what you see around you instead of what you're told. You go mostly on what you see, and what I seen was just basically violence, drug dealing, killing, prostitution, and those are the things that I became fascinated with as I grew up, and it eventually landed me in prison.
Jermayne was dealing drugs and shot a man.
Well, the first time I was released from DOC in November '04, I wasn't with the Project Reconnect, and I initially went back in '06, and it was just a process for me that I wasn't really sure if I can make it on my own.
We have some weeks 300 to 400 offenders or people who are on probation or court-ordered walk through our doors. For a large number of them, without that kind of intervention in their lives, they would have no check and balance on their activity. And we know that our treatment keeps them out of prison, keeps them out of jail, keeps them with their families, and enables them to be productive.
Project Reconnect, to me, is help for those that need it and are sincere, that really want to do something different and reach out for something new.
The biggest obstacles for most ex-offenders is obtaining employment. So therefore, they may try, and a lot of them honestly try, to do the right thing and be law-abiding citizens and to obtain resources the appropriate way, but they become very frustrated when many doors are closed.
Well, basically, Project Reconnect was my foundation. When I was released from DOC September 19th, they was able to set me up with different vouchers for work clothes, different food programs.
And the program is designed to assist ex-offenders to transition and reintegrate back into the community upon their release from prison.
Sheila, that's my angel. Sheila, I talked to Sheila 6 days before I was released from DOC, and I pretty much knew from there that she was going to be great.
When I encounter someone like Jermayne, that makes, not to sound, cliche, but, it makes everything worthwhile.
While these folks are here because of a particular offense, what they're experiencing is how to live life. And what I want to see happen to them is that they become better livers of life.
Jermayne, upon his release, I had given him some suggestions on how to obtain employment to increase his chances.
The penny saver, my job, it's a great job. Actually, I think I should rename it the lifesaver. But the guy that owns the store, Mr. Robbie, he's a very nice man. He's been knowing me since I've been living over here, which is a little bit over a year and a half. Today, doing what I'm doing, making what I'm making, earning an honest living, it feels self-gratifying. It feels good to be responsible and be able to know that I'm making choices that's going to sustain my living and sustain my existence.
So for someone to decide that they're going to try it, a different way, the mainstream way, and succeed at it, it is very rewarding.
What if we had reached Jermayne earlier as a child? We can change kids' lives through care, support, and encouragement.
If I could go somewhere as a kid and be able to work on computers, and do things that's more fundamental and, of importance, things that would matter now, well, that would have made a tremendous effect on my life and a lot of other people.
The purpose of the after-school programs that we offer at Provident is to provide a safe place for youth to have constructive activities after school. We know from our evaluation studies that children in our program improve their school attendance. They're not involved in juvenile delinquency. They're not involved in teen pregnancy, and they're not involved in drug activity.
What if we had reached Jermayne as a teen or a young adult? We can offer young people a brighter future through life skill development and opportunities for success.
At 16, a job training program. If I could have went to something like that at 16, I'm pretty sure I wouldn't be standing right here. You know, education and things of technology, learning those things while you're young are very important. Actually, they're survival skills. So as you learn those type of things, you learn how to survive, so definitely.
Transitions works with 16 to 21-year-old youth who live in the city of St. Louis who dropped out of high school. We connect them to people, to resources, and to training. My hope is that we provide them with hope, that they now see that when there are barriers and setbacks, there are people out there that care about them. There are places that they can go for resources, and that they now have some skills and a toolbox that they can rely on to overcome their obstacles.
For Jermayne's sake, we wish Provident had reached him earlier, like the thousands of young people Provident helps every year. But it's not too late for Jermayne and others like him. With Provident's expertise and your support, we can create a hopeful future for our community, our children, our families, and Jermayne.
So my future right now, I would say, it's very promising, very promising.